The deep black of space was silent. For centuries, ships passed through the empty sector without stopping. To everyone in the galaxy, it was just another dead region. No life, no trade, no value. But then, something changed. A small listening station, run by a group of alien scientists, caught something strange. A signal. At first, they thought it was background noise or a broken relay. But when they cleaned the recording, the words became clear. It was human. The aliens froze. Humanity had many colonies, yes, but none were reported in this forgotten corner of the stars. The words were simple, almost ancient. This is sovereign colony. Do not enter our system. Trespassers will be destroyed. The scientists shared the signal with their governance. Within days, the news spread across the galaxy. A hidden human colony that was impossible. The human empire itself had records of every settlement. There were no colonies out here, or so everyone believed. The galaxy laughed at first. Some called it a prank, some called it a hoax, but others remembered dark history. Long ago, during humanity's first wars of expansion, entire fleets had gone missing. Worlds had been abandoned. Could one of those lost groups have survived? To test it, a small alien scout ship entered the region. It never came back. Now the laughter stopped. On Earth, the human government grew nervous. They searched their ancient records. Yes, there had been a fleet almost 400 years ago that vanished during a war. The official records said they were destroyed, but maybe they had lived on, hidden in the dark. The thought was terrifying. If a colony had been cut off for centuries, what kind of humans would they become? Would they be weak, desperate survivors, or hardened warriors, shaped by isolation and struggle? Only one way to find out. A joint investigation team was sent humans and alien allies together. Their task was simple: enter the mysterious system, make contact, and see the truth. The fleet entered carefully. The stars ahead glowed faintly, a small sun with only a few planets. At first, everything looked empty. No stations, no cities, no ships. The aliens began to laugh again. See, a ghost story. A broken signal from an old probe. But then, the human captain on the bridge whispered, "No. Look closer." Sensors began to scream with warnings. Huge structures, hidden by stealth fields, appeared around the star. Shipyards, defense platforms, and then the colony itself. A massive planet covered with lights, energy grids, and towering cities. The bridge went silent. No one spoke for almost a minute. Then the colony spoke. A giant transmission filled the fleet's screens. A human face appeared, hard and scarred, dressed in strange military armor no one recognized. His eyes were cold but alive, burning with purpose. "This is sovereign colony," the man said. "You have entered our space. Leave now or face destruction." The alien commander laughed nervously. "You cannot threaten us. You are a lost world, a forgotten people. You have nothing." The human's voice was calm. Too calm. "We have everything we need. We have survived without you, and now we take what is ours." Before the fleet could react, dozens of massive warships appeared from the shadow of the planet. They were human-built, but nothing like modern designs. They looked ancient, yet terrifyingly advanced, upgraded over centuries with strange technology. The hidden colony was not weak. It was powerful. The alien crews panicked. Some ships pulled back. Others tried to send messages home. But it was too late. The colony's ships moved fast, surrounding them like predators. The human commander gave one final warning. You entered our space uninvited. This star system now belongs to us. Leave, or you will not leave at all. The investigation fleet fled, humiliated and broken. A few ships were destroyed to make an example. The rest carried the story back to the galaxy, and soon everyone knew. The galaxy had believed humanity was scattered, divided, weak. But now they learned the truth. A hidden human colony had not only survived, but thrived. They had grown strong, in silence, away from the galaxy's eyes. No one knew how many ships they had, or how powerful their weapons were. But one thing was clear. This forgotten colony had seized an entire star system, and they were ready to fight anyone who tried to take it from them. The galaxy was stunned. Governments argued. Alien leaders whispered in fear. The humans of the core worlds were confused, caught between pride and worry. And somewhere, in the shadows of the galaxy, the sovereign colony prepared its next move. The galaxy could not stop talking about the sovereign colony. Some believed it was a myth, some thought it was an exaggeration, but those who had seen the destroyed ships knew the truth. A hidden colony of humans had returned, and they were stronger than anyone imagined. On the capital worlds, debates erupted. Why didn't they contact us? One senator asked. Why hide in silence for 400 years? Others whispered that perhaps they had chosen to hide because they hated the galaxy itself. But on the colony's world, the truth was very different. Long ago, during the first expansion war, a fleet of settlers had been abandoned. They were promised reinforcements, but none came. Alien fleets hunted them, and when the human government declared them lost, they were erased from history. No rescue, no supplies, nothing. Left alone, the settlers had only one choice: survive or die. They landed on a harsh world, its skies filled with storms and its seas boiling with strange life. Many died in the first years. Disease spread, food was scarce. But slowly, generation by generation, they adapted. Children grew strong in gravity heavier than Earth's. Their lungs hardened against poisonous air. Their skin grew darker under the blazing sun. By the time a century had passed, they were no longer the same as the humans who had abandoned them. They were harder, sharper, and proud of it. The elders told stories to every child, stories of betrayal, stories of being forgotten. They left us, the teachers said. The galaxy turned its back on us, but we will never bow. We will never beg. We are sovereign. From those words, a culture was born. The colony built its strength in secret. At first, they crafted weapons only for defense. But when they discovered rich metal veins under their planet's crust, they built more ships, cannons, and fleets. Every storm that struck their world taught them new engineering. Every disaster forged them harder. And because they believed the galaxy would never forgive them, they hid. They cloaked their signals. They masked their energy. They silenced their stars. To any passing traveler, it looked like nothing more than an empty system. But beneath the quiet mask, they grew stronger with each century. Now, 400 years later, their leaders had decided the time of hiding was over. In the great hall of the colony, carved from black stone and lit with burning silver torches, the council gathered. At the center stood the commander, the same man who had warned the alien fleet. His name was Kalen Vayner, descendant of the first settlers, trained from childhood to rule. Our ancestors were abandoned, he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. We built this world with blood and fire. Now the galaxy dares to enter our system again, thinking we are weak. We showed them their mistake. But this is not the end. This is the beginning. The Council agreed. Their star system was only the first step. They needed more resources, more space, more power. The galaxy had taken everything from them once. Now they would take from the galaxy far away, in the human core worlds. A young academy student named Darren Lask read the reports. He was fascinated by the sovereign colony. Unlike the senators and generals who feared them, Darren felt something else: pride. They survived, he whispered. They were abandoned, but they lived. Isn't that the greatest proof of what it means to be human? His curiosity burned inside him. He wanted to see them for himself. He wanted to understand, but before he could act, the galaxy's response arrived. The alien council on the world of Theron declared the sovereign colony a threat. They are savages, the alien speaker hissed. They have stolen a star system. If they are not crushed, others will rise. A massive fleet was prepared, not just aliens, but also humans from the core empire who feared rebellion. Thousands of ships gathered on the edge of space, preparing to invade the sovereign colony system, but the sovereign already knew. Their spies had intercepted transmissions. Their leaders were ready in the shadows of their shipyards. They unveiled new weapons, massive rail cannons powered by planetary cores, stealth cruisers that could vanish from sensors, and fighters designed to tear through shields. Commander Kalen stood before his people. The galaxy comes for us, he said. They think we are lost children, but we are no longer children. We are sovereign. We will show them what it means to abandon humanity. The people roared in answer. As the invasion fleet crossed into sovereign space, the first battle began. Dozens of alien ships entered, scanning for weakness. They saw none. Suddenly, space lit up with fire. The sovereign fleet struck first, moving with deadly precision. Entire wings of alien ships were destroyed in seconds. The galaxy had underestimated them again, and this time the cost would be higher. Fire over the star system, the galaxy's invasion fleet entered the sovereign system with confidence. Thousands of ships stretched across the stars, their engines burning bright. Alien warlords believed the battle would be quick. The hidden human colony was strong, yes, but they were still only one world. Against the combined might of the galaxy, they would fall, at least. That's what everyone thought. On the sovereign homeworld, Commander Kalen watched the approaching fleet from the War Command Tower. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. Around him, officers reported incoming scans, ship movements, and weapons charged. They come with arrogance, Kalen said. They expect us to kneel. Today, we remind the galaxy why humanity must never be abandoned. The order was given. The sovereign fleet launched. Hundreds of warships rose from the shadows of the planet. Their designs were ancient, yet strange old human hulls, rebuilt and reshaped with new weapons. Some looked like giant spears, others like dark blades cutting through the void. They were not polished like the alien cruisers. They were brutal, forged for war, shaped by survival. The galaxy's fleet saw them appear and laughed. Outdated ships, one alien captain sneered. They think they can fight us with relics. But then the battle began. The sovereign warships moved fast, far faster than the invaders expected. Their stealth systems confused enemy sensors. Their weapons, rail cannons charged by planetary energy, tore through shields like paper. The first alien line collapsed within minutes. Ships exploded, scattering burning wreckage across the void. The galaxy was stunned. Darren Lask, the young student who had secretly followed the invasion fleet aboard a supply ship, stared in shock. He had snuck into this mission out of curiosity, wanting to witness the sovereign colony for himself. But now, watching from the viewing deck, he saw something that no academy textbook had prepared him for. The sovereign humans were not fighting to defend, they were fighting to win. Every maneuver, every strike was planned with deadly precision. Their ships fought like wolves in a pack, surrounding enemy cruisers and tearing them apart piece by piece. This is impossible," whispered a human officer beside him. "How can they fight like this?" Darren said nothing. He already knew the answer. They had been preparing for centuries. On the battlefield, the alien fleet tried to regroup. Massive dreadnoughts pushed forward, their cannons firing in storms of light. For a moment, it seemed the sovereign fleet would break, but Kalen was ready. "Release the storm," he commanded, from the shadows of the outer belt. New weapons appeared, orbital platforms armed with colossal railguns. Each one fired a spear of molten metal the size of a skyscraper. Entire dreadnoughts were split in half, their burning cores drifting into the void. The invaders screamed in panic. Some ships tried to flee, others charged blindly forward. But the sovereign fleet was everywhere, striking from angles no one expected. It was not a battle, it was a slaughter. Back on the alien command ship, Admiral Therial watched in horror. This cannot be. They are only one colony. How can they stand against us? One of his officers whispered the truth no one wanted to hear. They are not just a colony, sir. They are something else, something more. But the Admiral refused to retreat. To retreat now would be shame. He gave the order. All ships forward. Crush them. The galaxy's fleet roared into the fight with everything they had. For hours, the void burned. Explosions lit up the dark like stars being born and dying. Entire wings of ships vanished in fire. The sovereign fleet lost vessels too, but every loss was answered with 10 kills. Kalon stood at the command tower, his voice steady even as his officers shouted reports. "Hold the line, push them back, show them we are sovereign," and his fleet obeyed. By the battle's end, the galaxy's invasion force was broken. Hundreds of ships were destroyed, thousands of lives lost. The survivors fled in chaos, abandoning their mission. The sovereign colony had not only defended their system, they had crushed the combined fleet of the galaxy. Deron could hardly breathe. He had just witnessed history. "This changes everything," he whispered. "The galaxy will never see humanity the same way again." On the sovereign world, Kalen addressed his people. His voice carried through the cities, the shipyards, and the stars. "Today, we fought the galaxy," he declared, "and today we won. They thought us forgotten. They thought us broken. But we are sovereign, and this is only the beginning." The people roared with pride. Children waved banners, soldiers stood tall, and engineers began building more ships. They had tasted victory, and they would not stop. But in the silence after the cheers, Kalen whispered to himself, so quiet no one else could hear, "They will return, and next time it will be worse." The galaxy reacts news of the battle spread faster than light. Across every major world, in every trading hall, on every station, people whispered the same name, Sovereign Colony. The galaxy had watched them crush a fleet that should have been unbeatable. Now, fear began to grow. Alien rulers argued in their high councils. Some wanted immediate retaliation. Others warned that another invasion might only bring another disaster. They are only one colony, one alien senator hissed. We must not overestimate them. But another alien slammed his fist against the table. One colony destroyed half our fleet in a single battle. If they are only one colony, then what if there are more? The chamber fell into silence. For the first time, the galaxy wondered if other hidden human colonies existed. If Sovereign had survived for 400 years, maybe others had too. The thought chilled them. In the human empire's capital, the leaders faced the same fear. Some were furious. They are traitors. They abandoned us, and now they dare to attack our allies. But others felt shame. One old admiral whispered what no one else wanted to admit. We abandoned them first. The human government was split. Should they treat Sovereign as enemies, or should they try to reach out and make peace? No answer came. Fear and pride kept them frozen. Meanwhile, on the Sovereign world, celebrations filled the cities. Children played in the streets, chanting songs of victory. Soldiers marched through the plazas, and banners of fire-red cloth hung from every tower. Commander Kalen, however, did not smile. He stood alone in the war chamber, staring at the star maps. He knew the galaxy would not forgive this. He knew more fleets were already gathering, but Kalen had plans. Our ancestors hid for centuries, he said to his council, but now we will no longer hide. The galaxy believes we are one star system. They are wrong. We will expand, we will build, and soon they will realize humanity cannot be caged. The council nodded in agreement. Their next phase had begun. Far away, Darren Lasks, the young student, who had secretly followed the fleet, was caught between two worlds. He had been rescued from the battlefield by a Sovereign patrol ship, and now he walked among their people. To his surprise, the colony was not savage or cruel. Yes, they were strict. Yes, they were warriors, but their people were proud, united, and alive in ways he had never seen on the core worlds. He saw children training in schools where history was told not as dates and wars, but as lessons of survival. He saw farmers using machines older than the Empire itself, rebuilt and upgraded to feed entire cities. He saw engineers who treated every bolt, every wire, as sacred. These people, Darren thought, are not monsters. They are survivors. They are proof of what humanity becomes when pushed to the edge. And yet, their hatred burned deep. Every citizen he spoke to remembered the betrayal. Every song, every speech carried the same words. Never again shall we bow. Never again shall we trust. One night, Duron was brought before Commander Kalen himself. You are from the core worlds, Kalen said, his voice sharp but curious. Why are you here? Are you a spy? Duron shook his head. No, I came because I wanted to see. I wanted to know the truth about you. Kalen studied him for a long moment. Then he smiled not with kindness, but with something darker. Then you will carry the truth back to your people, Kalen said. Tell them we are not broken. Tell them we are sovereign. And tell them this is only the beginning. Meanwhile, in the wider galaxy, chaos grew. Alien merchants refused to trade near sovereign space. Rumors spread that sovereign warships were already raiding hidden routes. Some claimed they had seen entire convoys vanish. On Therin, the alien world that had led the invasion, riots broke out. Citizens demanded to know why their fleets had failed. Some even whispered that perhaps they should negotiate with the sovereign colony before it was too late. But the warlords refused. We will crush them, they promised. We will burn their world. Yet in their eyes, fear was already there. Back in the sovereign shipyards, new ships rolled out every day. They were faster, stronger, more dangerous. Engineers whispered of secret weapons still hidden, weapons forged in the dark storms of their world, waiting for the right moment. Commander Kalen watched them with pride, but also with caution. He knew each victory brought more danger. The galaxy would not stop. The galaxy would come again, stronger, larger, more desperate. And when they did, Sovereign would be ready. But deep inside, Kalen knew something else. He knew Sovereign could not fight forever alone. They would need allies. Not aliens, never aliens, but other humans. If Sovereign could rise from the ashes, then perhaps other hidden colonies could too. And if they united, humanity would no longer be scattered. Humanity would no longer be weak. Humanity would rule. Asterisk, the galaxy had changed. Before the battle, humans were seen as just another species, brave, yes, but divided, scattered, ordinary. After the rise of the sovereign colony, no one could call humanity ordinary again. Every starport, every council chamber, every academy whispered about them. The colony had taken a star system and crushed the fleets of the galaxy. They were a forgotten people, abandoned for centuries, yet they had returned stronger than ever. But for Commander Kalen, this was not enough. He stood at the heart of sovereigns. Great council chamber, staring at the burning map of stars projected above him. His voice was steady, filled with the weight of 400 years of silence. We survived when the galaxy betrayed us, he said. We thrived when the galaxy forgot us. Now the galaxy knows we are here. They will come again, stronger, united, desperate to break us. If we wait, they will destroy us. So we will not wait. We will rise. The council roared in agreement. For centuries they had hidden. Now hiding was over. On the human core worlds, Darren Lask prepared to return home. Kalen had given him a message to carry, a message not for alien leaders, but for humans across the stars. As Dayron boarded the ship that would carry him back through the void, he looked at the sovereign soldiers standing in rows. Their armor was scarred, their faces hardened, their eyes filled with fire. He realized something simple but terrifying. They were not fighting for power. They were fighting for survival, for pride, for justice. And when people fought for those things, nothing could break them. When Daron reached the capital world, he delivered Kellen's words before the human senate. The sovereign colony does not beg for peace, Darren said, his voice carrying across the hall. They do not ask for mercy. They declare only this: humanity is not weak. Humanity is not divided. Humanity will rise again, stronger than ever. The chamber erupted in chaos. Some senators called it rebellion. Others called it destiny. But the words had already spread. Across the human colonies, young men and women began whispering Sovereign's name like a legend. For the first time in centuries, humans felt unity stirring in their blood. Meanwhile, alien worlds trembled. Merchants closed their trade routes near human space. Warlords demanded more fleets. Some races began to fear not only the sovereign colony, but humanity itself. Humans were dangerous even when divided. One alien leader said, "What will they become if they unite?" The question haunted every star system back on the sovereign homeworld. The people prepared for what came next. Shipyards burned day and night, building faster than ever. New weapons were tested, some so powerful that even their own engineers feared them. But Kalen was not focused only on war. His eyes were on the stars beyond his system. He summoned his council. For centuries, we thought we were alone, but we were wrong. If we survived, others may have survived too. Other lost colonies, other forgotten humans. We will find them. We will bring them home, and together we will form a new dawn of humanity. The council agreed. Messengers were sent. Scouts left in stealth ships, slipping quietly into the dark edges of space, searching for signs of other hidden worlds. Deron, still restless on the core worlds, received a secret transmission weeks later. It was Kellen's voice, calm and sharp. "As always, you have carried our words once," Kalen said. "Now you will carry them again. The humans of the core must choose stay loyal to those who abandoned us, or join us in shaping the future. We are not only a colony, we are the beginning of something greater." Deron felt his heart race. He knew then that the sovereign colony's plan was larger than anyone imagined. They did not just want survival, they wanted unity. They wanted empire. And so, as months passed, the galaxy watched as strange events unfolded. Rumors spread of lost human fleets reappearing, of secret settlements joining Sovereign's banner, of alien border stations falling to sudden raids. The galaxy trembled. Some swore war was coming. Others whispered something far more dangerous, an age where humanity would no longer be scattered, no longer divided, no longer weak. One evening, Kalon stood on the walls of Sovereign's capital city, staring at the stars above. His people sang victory songs below, their voices echoing across the streets. The night air was filled with the sound of engines and hammers, building the future brick by brick. Beside him, his most trusted general spoke. "Do you believe we can win, Commander, against the galaxy?" Kellen's gaze never left the stars. His voice was quiet, but it carried the weight of destiny. "We already have," he said. "We survived when survival was impossible. We rose when all believed we were dead. And now we do not stand alone. We will find every human, every colony, every forgotten world. We will bring them together. And when we do," he paused, his eyes burning with fire, "the galaxy will bow."